Hello. Hello, my friends. Good evening. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. We've made it, and I'm very proud of us for making it this far in the week already. I have got to tell you, today I did not have the mental bandwidth to come up with a topic, so we're going to do a good old-fashioned see what kind of conversation comes up Q&A session. So if you have any questions about anything, really, I'm an open book, as you all know. Feel free to chat away with them, and we will be chit-chatting about whatever topics come up this evening. But I'm very excited to take a minute and spend the next hour with you guys. I'm just now noticing that my hang on, my makeup mirror is reacting to, oh gosh, this is really hard to do when your arms don't extend. It's reacting to the lamp. And there we go. The way I moved the lamp. And so all of a sudden I'm seeing like a flash out of the corner of my eye and I can't figure out what it is. It's my mirror going on and off because I have a motion sensitive mirror. Anyway, we've got it figured out now, my friends. Hello. Rosie, hello. I'm so glad you're here. Lissa's here. Hello. Michelle is here. How is everyone doing? I love that y'all just chit chat away. It makes me so happy. Julie is here and Andy is here. Good evening. Lori is here and doing the dishes while listening. I just finished cooking and for my husband, not even for myself. I made myself pancakes for dinner because I didn't have my pancakes for breakfast this morning. Hello, Shannon. Hi, I hardly ever make it for the lives, but I watch the replay every week on my commute to and from work. You are my comfort YouTuber. Shannon, that means so much that I am your comfort YouTuber. Thank you so much for sharing that with me, especially today. I needed that more than you know. So thank you. And I am so glad that you're able to join us live. How exciting. Lauren, hello. It is good to see you. And Kathy and Trevor, hello, hello. Lissa is busy greeting everybody today. Andy is greeting. Oh my goodness gracious. I love it so much. Y'all. Oh my gosh. And Trevor shows up. He comes in clutch with the questions for the Q&A session. I'm going to star it so I come back to it, but keep them coming. I love it so much. Thank you, Andy. Always so complimentary on the clothes choice, particularly when I'm actually wearing something in my colors. Andy notices. So thank you. This is a summer colored top. And fun fact about this can be our gripe on clothing sizes for the evening. This fits me beautifully, y'all. It's a small. I have no right being in a small. It's a small. And I was like, I put it on today because I'm just like, I need something that feels cute to film in because I filmed a couple videos today, but also is just cozy, but long sleeve, but not too hot because it actually got to almost 50 degrees here today. I know, how crazy is that? So this fit the bill. This fit the bill. I've had this for years and I love it. And it happens to be, it's very interesting to me when you get your colors done. And for people who've gotten their colors done, I'd love to hear your experience. But I have found that it probably goes one of two ways. People either probably get their colors done and find out that nothing is in their color season that they have in their closet, or in my case, it turns out that most of what I had already purchased and the wardrobe that I had already curated was like 85 to 90% already in my summer color theme. And I was like, dang, evidently I know which colors look good on me because all of the clothes are already those colors, which was really, really nice. I don't go by size, I go by cut. Sure, yeah, absolutely. I've been discovering the whole clothing size stupidity thing also applies to shoes and not just the inconsistencies between brands with size charts, measurements not matching. Yeah, it's all maddening. It's all maddening. Clothing shopping in and of itself is maddening. Most of my wardrobe was summery. Yeah, so I knew you had the complete opposite experience, but then mine, like if I took my color fan to my closet, I was like, "Oh, this," and I have on video. I can't remember what vlog it is, but I have on video me going through everything in my closet and sussing out the stuff that fit in my color season and the stuff that didn't. And I was shocked at how much already did. Like it was very, very pleasing. And this was one of those things that I was like, oh, conveniently already in my color. Fantastic. First, my friends, before we get into the nitty gritty and the questions that Trevor, I am sure, is going to deliver, let's talk about our highs and lows for the week. I love to hear from you guys and celebrate the things that you would like to celebrate and share and support in the struggles and the things that you are struggling with and everything in between. So we do highs, we do lows. If you want to share your wellness win, a celebration, or something as it pertains to your wellness journey, and whatever definition of wellness journey that means to you, I would love to hear that as well. And then if you have something that you are working on it, I would love to hear that as well. I'm going to go ahead and get things started. And my high this week was definitely, I have two, and coincidentally, they both happened yesterday, and they both involved me getting out of the house and seeing other people. And first, I went to lunch with a friend who I haven't seen in quite some time, just because we see each other at church on Sundays, but beyond that, we like our schedules just never line up, but we can never get together. And we got together from lunch, and it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely to just be able to sit and talk and vent and hear about what's going on with her and all of these things. And then the funny thing is, we were actually talking about worship team and how she hasn't sung in a while, and I have obviously been out of town. I haven't sung in a while. We were talking about what's going on with worship team, all these things. While we were at lunch, we both got notifications from Planning Center that said we were being requested to have sing. And I was like, oh, that's funny. We were just talking about this. And we were scheduled to sing together. I was like, that is funny. That is very, very funny that it just so happened that that's how it worked out. And then we went to small group last night, and we'd been away from our small group since the holiday season and everything, and it was so nice to be back there. And it was so nice because my low is not something I'm going to go into details about, because it doesn't pertain to me specifically. It actually pertains more to my husband, but how that is impacting me in terms of stress, in terms of I'm currently carrying a lot more of the mental load and the physical load, ironically enough, in the house, and doing a lot more things and having to make a lot of modifications and not having time to sit and work, and all of these things are just piling on. And to top it off, Aunt Flo is here, and so like all of this was in the height of PMS, and like the other day I literally felt like my head was going to implode. And like an Amazon order gone wrong is what made me almost like break into tears. It was just it life is a struggle bus right now, and I'm not saying this for sympathy. I'm saying that this because this is just what my life is, and my job on this channel is to share what's going on in my life to the best of my ability. All that to say, so that's my low in a nutshell. So if your girl seems a little bit stressed, a little bit scatterbrained, and a little bit quiet, that's why. I'm trying my best, and that's all I can do right now. But we went to small group, and when we're in small group, we study the word of God. We're working on a really cool book right now, and we pray for one another. And I literally looked at my husband. He's like, I don't know if I want to go to small group tonight. I'm like, we're going to small group because you and I need to be prayed for. And man, oh man, did that group pray for us and love on us and support us. And it was just exactly what we needed. It was exactly what we needed. And so those two things happening in the same day were just such a highlight, and it made me go, there is life outside of the season I'm in and the four walls of my house, and it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. So that was my high and my low. My wellness win, I'm upright, y'all. That's my wellness win. And I have been actively showing up and working out. It has not been in the way that I had originally intended to be showing up for myself this month, but the fact that I'm showing up at all is a major win. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due there. And my working on it is literally surviving. So there's mine. There's mine. Oh my goodness gracious. Do, 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 do. Here we go. I'm trying to find where I left off. But to be fair, it's a lot easier to find other seasons other than spring. I've been going down a rabbit hole with seasonal colors. You need to follow. Do you follow Christy Reisel of the Rise Through Style Society, which is I've been a member of for like 2 years? She's a spring. She's a spring. So she's always sharing stuff. Bought my first ankle boots today in 5 years. How exciting! Hi, I have a kitty cuddling with me right now, y'all. I don't know if this is a low or just me being ridiculous, but for whatever reason, last night, my husband and I are on the couch cuddling. He's scratching my back, doing the best that he can for me right now. And we're, for whatever reason, I said something about like Gracie was letting me pet her. And I was like, "Oh, you're letting me pet you in your old age." And Eric's like, "Wait, how old is she?" And I said 7. And Eric's like, how long until she's considered a senior?" And so I took the dive down the rabbit hole of aging Yorkies, and it turns out that you can consider your Yorkie a senior as young as 8 years old, and the idea that Gracie can be considered a senior next year literally broke my heart. I looked at her and I was like, I'm not ready for you to be a senior yet. I need you to live until you're 17 years old." Um, yeah. So that happened too. It's been a rough couple of weeks, you guys. Lows, I've been dealing with a cold or COVID for the last 3 days. Oh no. Highs, I'm down 15 pounds in 1 month, even before I got sick. I love that. I want you to figure out whether or not you have COVID, because that could have some pretty big implications on things like energy and fatigue and long-term stuff and whatever, which would be valuable information for us to know. Us meaning you and me. But I hope you feel better. I was wondering where you've been. Now I know. Thank you. Home stuff isn't getting any better, and they keep cutting my hours at work. I'm making less than I was on unemployment. That's rough. And my win and working on it are connected. I've been dealing with a lot less foot pain, but I'm working on figuring out the shoe thing, making progress, but I haven't figured it out yet. That is pretty much, that sums up life, right? Making progress, but I haven't figured it out yet. That is an okay place to be. That making progress, if you can say, hey, it's not perfect. Hey, the problem has not been figured out, but I am making progress in the right direction, then we win. Like, that's great. Good for you. I even tried conventional shoes with a narrow toe box and they weren't bad, but I'm not 100% sure about how they feel about the way they fit. Hi. 1 year ago today, I had my last radiation treatment for breast cancer. Let's all take a minute and applaud Michelle, because that is amazing. Low, I had a dinner and lunch plans with friends this week and both had to cancel. Oh, I'm sorry, Michelle. That's such a bummer. Wellness win is not ordering a Shamrock Shake today because I knew it wouldn't help my cold and I wasn't hungry. Rosie, I am so proud of you for that. I'm so proud of you for that. And let's be very specific about what she just said here, because what she did not say is I can't have it because it's too many calories, because it's junk food, fast food, whatever. That's not what she said. That's not what she said. She said, I knew it wouldn't help. So whether or not she was doing it because of an emotional trigger or she knew that it would make her cold feel worse, because sometimes dairy and cold can make things not awesome, right? And she wasn't hungry. Therefore, she did not feel compelled. She did not feel compelled to get it at this moment in time. And that is a major win. That is a major win. So good for you, Rosie. I love that. Working on it. I'm trying to listen to my body, but also get as much vitamin C as possible and really only craving fruit and pasta. Okay, so this is another, I can coach you through COVID here. If you have COVID, like remember what happened when I had COVID last? I literally ate only carbs and cheese covered carbs. But when you're feeling under the weather, it is very, very common to not want things like protein because they're harder to digest. And especially if you have COVID and thus GI symptoms that may or may not accompany COVID, carbs are easy on the body. I lived off of saltine crackers. And when I was feeling very ambitious, I had macaroni and cheese, and then I had toast. That was what I ate almost exclusively for like a week and a half, with the occasional real meal thrown in there. Like I'd scramble up some eggs or something. But yes, that's completely normal. That's completely normal. I've been talking to someone who was typed as a spring, but is an autumn, but by the 12 season color palette. We got into some weird things. To be fair, Christy's not House of Color. I recently bought the Hear No Evil, See No Evil, Speak No Evil in Stormtroopers, and they look amazing. That's awesome, Andy. That is awesome. We're celebrating Michelle. I love that. Like as a spring, I have blue, green, gray, red on my fan that aren't really warm or cool. I have a blue that is a neutral blue. Yeah, cool seasons. Yeah, I don't know. And there was one color that I had that I thought looked good on me that I was like, this is actually like a very spring color. And yet it still looks pretty solid on me. I don't know. It's fine. Monday, Piper, our 10-year-old senior Karen Terrier mix, had a dental cleaning, which the put you out 7 teeth were removed, and oh, that happened to Gracie. Didn't cry, but I shared on Instagram because last time she had a cleaning, she had 2 teeth in the way back that were infected and needed to come out. And I'll never forget this, and I know I shared a picture of it. I was giving her like really, really soft food because, she was going to be in pain and everything. And I gave her a piece of cheese that I thought was hot, like soft enough, right? Just a chunk of cheese like I was eating. I just gave her a piece of what I was eating. And the side of her mouth that she got the teeth removed from must have been the side of her mouth that she defaults to when she chews, which would explain why it was grimier, right? And so she takes this little piece of cheese and without thinking puts it in the back of her mouth and chomps down on it. And the way she didn't yelp or anything, but the way she spit it out, and then just the look of dejection. She was so sad, like this cheese had just done her so dirty. I was both laughing and I felt so bad because, oh, this poor dog was just so dejected by a piece of cheese because she put it on the wrong side of her mouth. Um, it is very sad. I hope Piper feels better. Oh my goodness. A cold. I wanted it emotionally. I'm sure you did. I don't have a neutral yellow, and they could add blue to get their cool yellows. You're oh, look at all the celebrating. Yes, I love it so much. I've been having tons of clementines and berries, but I realized I was searching out the fruit seeking out the fruit regardless of hunger, as if it can cure the cold. And this, Rosie, all of this is really, really good stuff. Really, really good mindset shifting and progress. And I am so proud of every single thing you're saying right now. Truly. Kim, hello. It is good to see you. Even without the GI stuff, carbs are easier to digest. You burn more calories digesting protein than carbs. And if you're sick, your body's going to want to conserve the energy. Yes, 100%. Absolutely true. We're celebrating Michelle. I find I struggle to drink enough water, so I gravitate towards things like fruit. Absolutely. Absolutely. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. My colors are black and brown, yellow, and orange. Nice. Love it. Okay. Thank you for sharing your highs and lows, my friends. It is always a joy. And so now the floor is yours. I do have, I think, 2 questions that were submitted to me via Instagram. But let's go ahead and start with Trevor's question because I really liked Trevor's question. Where is it? This is why I like the star feature on StreamYard here, y'all. What is your favorite kind of cookie you like to bake? So I'm old school, and this is going to be the most boring answer that you could possibly ask for. I love, and maybe it's because I'm good at them. I don't know. The good old classic Nestle Tolaus. Does anybody get the reference? Nestle Toll House cookies. The recipe on the back of the bag. And I make 2 small, immeasurable tweaks to them. And they are delicious every single time. The one thing that I'm trying to figure out, especially with this new oven, is mine always end up so flat. They're delicious, don't get me wrong, but they end up flat. And I'm trying to figure out why. And so I think I'm actually going to swap out the baking soda that I have made the recipe with my entire life for baking powder and seeing what happens. But I like to make Nestle Toll House cookies. I have the entire recipe memorized. I can bust them out and like have the batter made in like 10 minutes flat. And they cook quick. They are no fail. Like they're delicious. Even if they look awful, which now I have a cookie dough scoop, so they never look awful. They're nice and uniform and round, but they're just a comfort. They're just a comfort. You can eat the dough right out of the bowl. I love it so much. I eat the cookies. They're also very, very good. And it's just so tasty. It's just so tasty. To be fair, I haven't, like, my sister ventured into cookie baking for the Christmas season, and she made some incredible cookies. Like, looked picture perfect cookies this year. And I swear my sister is training to be like world's greatest homemaker or something. And she made a couple of cookies out of the Cooking with Carly Christmas cookie book. And I follow her. She's great. Wonderful. But they're so complicated. And I like if I'm craving a cookie, I want quick and easy and a guaranteed delicious. So 110% has to be Nestle Toll House cookies. I love them. Oh my goodness. Really, really good question. What a fun way to start off the Q&A session. I love it. I love it. Short version. I'm a yellow-based season, yet I have a blue with no yellow. Cool seasons don't have a yellow with no blue. Sure. Love it. According to most online quizzes, I'm a summer, but I feel like I'd look dead in your. Yeah, no, you look a lot better in the colors you wear now, in the spring colors. So I don't feel like summer colors would thrive on you at all. With like, obviously there's an exception. I told you, everything is hard today, you guys. I'm certain there are colors. There are some colors that are not in my color season, like a good olive green. Olive green isn't even a cool tone. Well, I'm convinced the one I have is cool tone, but I digress. Olive green is not in any way, shape, or form a summer or a winter color. And yet, I look really good in an olive green. My eyes blend in to match. I don't know if you guys can tell today, but like it looked like earlier, and of course I can't look and look at the lens at the same time. But like my eyes are bluer today than they are, say, if I'm wearing green or something like that. My eyes change colors. And my eyes will turn into that olive green color that I'm wearing. And so like it works really, really well. Not in my color season at all, but that doesn't mean that I don't have occasional colors that still look really, really good on me. Just as a whole, summer colors are definitely where I thrive, for sure. What are the differences between biscuits and cookies? So you're in the UK, so there isn't one. In the UK, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, sir, but cookies are biscuits, right? In the United States, however, biscuits and cookies are very, very different creatures, and I love them both in very, very different ways. Biscuits are a savory, buttery, bread-like substance that's usually flaky, and oh my gosh, I'm getting myself all hot and bothered just thinking about biscuits. I love a good biscuit, y'all. I love a good biscuit. Red Lobster biscuits, Cracker Barrel biscuits, fast food biscuits. We went to Bojangles not too long ago because we were driving through the South and Bojangles was at our stop. So we had Bojangles. Even the Bojangles biscuits were freaking stellar. With in the United States, biscuits and cookies, very different. Cookies are sweet. Cookies are what you think of when you think chocolate chip or frosted sugar or whatever. And definitely not biscuits. But for you, they're the same thing. It's like chips. When you say chips in the UK, you mean French fries, right? I'm pretty sure. If you like almond, look for an Almoretti cookie. 3 to 5 ingredients and so good. I do like almond. I used to. Back in my college days and early 20s, one of my favorite beverages to get in terms of alcohol was a little bit of amaretto. I loved the way amarettos tasted. I haven't had amaretto in years and years and years. Are you making the cookie dough a day ahead of baking, and are you keeping the dough in the fridge while you're baking in batches? I found that my cookies don't go flat when my dough is nice and cold. And yeah, that's another thing that I'm messing around with. So first of all, evidently, did you know it is best practice to let your cookie dough merge and marinate, so to speak, to not bake your cookies right away? You can pre-make your dough and you should let it rest for at least half an hour, but you could do it up to 72 hours. And the more time it sits and it marinates, the more delicious and rich of a cookie you get. So yes, now I have started making the dough, pre-scooping them, and then letting the balls get cold, and then I'll put them in containers, and then just my husband and I never go through the cookies quickly. So, and we don't want them to go stale. So I'll make like 2 or 3 days worth of cookies at a time. So I'll put like 8 to 10 cookies in the oven at a time. And so it's really nice to make them all ahead and then keep them in the fridge or even in the freezer in their pre-shaped things. A couple of things as I researched, because one night I couldn't sleep. And so the thing I decided to research at like 11:30 p.m. in the dark in my bedroom was how to make my cookies not get flat. I'm talking like super flat, like the chocolate chips end up being little bumps in the thing, like instead of it looking like a cookie, and making sure the butter's not melted. So I might let my butter get too soft. So I'm going to try to do less soft butter next time. There was something else about the butter. The swapping out the baking soda for baking powder is an option. I also learned, and I don't know how I missed this, but the first time I was trying to solve this problem, I actually reread the back of the chocolate chip container one time. And I failed to notice in all of my years, I started baking these cookies when I was like 8 or something. In all of my years, so almost 30 years of baking these cookies, I never bothered to read the bottom that said, if you're omitting the nuts, add 2 more tablespoons of flour. And I can't remember if it was 2 more tablespoons or if it was 2 tablespoons to a quarter of a cup of flour that I just never did. I never made them with nuts, but I somehow always omitted the the extra flour. So I started adding the extra flour, and believe it or not, that helped. Just up to a quarter cup of flour, that really helped. So I want to try that. I do keep things cold, and I started doing, instead of letting them, like, I'm getting ready and I'll sit, I'm making sure I keep all the dough balls in the fridge until I pop them on the tray and into the oven. So they are as cold as they can be in the oven. Another thing I might try just for funsies, because I do them refrigerated frequently, is try them frozen, like, and see if I take a couple and put them in from frozen. So I'm gonna try that as well. There's a whole there's a whole bunch of little things, and I think, was it Cooking with Carly? I actually found an article that was like a whole list of best practices to avoid your cookies falling flat. Is there a color on your palette that you feel isn't great on you? Or if you now, which colors were your lowest rated? Oh, if I know which colors were my lowest rated, let me see if I can find them. I can tell you. And I have a couple of 25, so 25%, I guess, is my least. Their best is like patterns, scarves, belts, instead of like my single, like 100% color. I could wear it from top to bottom. According to my person, I could wear rose madder, cherry, raspberry, plum, which I do have like a plum jacket and everything, sea green, cornflower, delft, French navy, which is why you've been seeing me appear in so much more navy clothes, musk pink, and rose brown are like my wow colors that I could wear top to bottom and it would look really, really stellar. I only have 3, and of those 3, I have no check marks. I have no the ranking system is 1 check mark, 2 check marks, 1 star, 2 stars. My 1 star, so like my lowest rated, put it on the least amount of your body, is hilariously enough Clover. Which, why is it hilarious? Great question. I would love to tell you. Clover is the same color of the blush that I wear, no joke, every single day. This is Clover, and I love it, and it looks amazing on my cheeks. So I guess that's me actually following what she says and using it as an accent piece. I use it on my cheeks every single time I wear makeup, and I love it. But I could see how me wearing this as a shirt might be not quite as stellar as some of my other options. It's a great question. And also, I don't know that, like, I have like this icy, I don't have my fan up here. And I don't think, oh yeah, I have this. I have my little temporary thing. I don't think, is this the summer? So here's the summer palette, y'all. These are the summer fabrics according to House of Color. I don't think that, where is it? The icy yellow looks really good on me. It can in small pieces, like a little bit, but I feel like that would wash me out. Good question. My eye colors are generally bloodshot. Oh, jeez. Cold dough. American biscuits are similar to British scones. Yes. Yes. I agree that. Bloodshot. Biscuits are dry, cookies are moist. Interesting. So like oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Biscotti. A biscotti would be considered a biscuit. Biscotti makes sense actually. And but like something like a chewy chocolate chip cookie would be considered a cookie. Am I accurate in saying that? Um, do let me know how frozen dough works. Also, weather affects baking. If it's too humid, the cookies will go fat. Well, then I tell you what, I should make cookies now because it's going to get humid and the air is nice and dry here right now. What is your favorite cake of all? This is a loaded question. I love that we're on desserts. I love that we're on desserts. Like how that just feels so appropriate. This is my husband is convinced. He's like, you don't understand the definition of superlative. And I don't. I refuse. Maybe it's an Enneagram 9 trait. I don't know. I don't like picking favorites. I don't like picking favorites. Why? Because it depends on the situation. It depends on the situation. Um, what I love the most. I mean, if I could only have one cake for the rest of my life, it would be one of two things. It would be one of two things, and that's the best I can give you. One of two, okay? And they're similar. No, actually, no, they're not. Okay, good old yellow cake with buttercream frosting. Like that's classic. That's birthday cake. I don't want like any fancy special flavors on my birthday. I am actively seeking out yellow cake buttercream frosting. Hands down. I have a recipe for buttercream frosting I now really like, so I can make buttercream frosting whenever I want, and it's glorious, and I love it. So that is like one of the cakes where, like, if I can only have one kind of cake the rest of my life, it might actually be a good vanilla cake with buttercream frosting. However, I have an affinity for cream cheese frosting. I love cream cheese frosting. And one of my favorite cakes, and I went through a huge phase. I was fixated on this kind of cake for years, and I still occasionally get a hankering and go for it. And like the caregiver at my in-laws, my grand-in-laws, Eric's grandmother's caregiver, it also makes food every week. And the first week we were in town, she made just for me red velvet cupcakes. And I hadn't had red velvet in a while, and with homemade amazing cream cheese frosting. And they were so good. And I was like, "Yes, this is what I love." So the answer is red velvet. Red velvet with good cream cheese frosting. Um and it's understood, like, I don't secret life of intuitive eaters and just how we all should be. You got to be a little bougie and you got to be a little bit of a snob. If you want to have desserts, treats, what do it, but make it worth it. Make it worth it. All of my cakes have a prerequisite of they must be moist. And I know people hate that word. I don't care. I love me a moist cake, okay? They have to be moist and delicious and just like the best cake. If it is a dry cake, pass. Not eating it. Nope, not worth it to me. Not worth the space in my tummy or the amount of sugar and stuff that I'd be ingesting. Not worth it. But if it is a good cake and good frosting, bring it on. So red velvet cake with good cream cheese frosting must be moist. Yellow cake with buttercream frosting must be moist. Oh, so good. Y'all are hyping me up for dessert, and I don't have any desserts that are that exciting. We had cupcakes earlier this week, last week. When did I buy those cupcakes? I think it was earlier this week. But they're gone now, and so I don't have cupcakes to eat anymore. A good butter shortbread. I do like a good shortbread cookie, but I don't make them. And then if you want to get into cookies in terms of what I like to eat, that's a different story than what I like to bake. Because there's a whole cookies are a whole spectrum. I love cookies. I thought that I was a cupcake gal, and I am. I love me a cupcake. I love me a cupcake with inches of frosting on top of it, but I'm also turning into a gourmet cookie gal. Truly, like I actually have you guys can know first, a cookie company that my friend Jordan raved about for years and years and years and years, called Half C's Cookie Company. is on my favorite affiliate network. And so just for funsies, I was like, you know what? I will order and I will try. Let me just apply for their affiliate program. And I got accepted and they're sending me stuff so I can try the cookies. And to say I am excited would be an understatement. I love cookies from like companies because cookies are hot right now, right? Fat and Weird Cookie. I love Fat and Weird Cookie. I haven't ordered from them in ages, but even my husband enjoyed them. So stinking good. And so I'm really excited. Like I'm pumped about cookies. But also like there's something to be said for like a classic Oreo cookie. I love cookies. Thank you, Andy. You're so sweet to notice, to like even know. I didn't even remember I had earrings in my ears, quite frankly. That's very sweet of you. I have 125 color and it's a 2-star color. Terracotta. I only have a few 1-star colors. Icy yellow is primrose. Yeah, that is not, I feel like that's probably the least flattering summer color on me. They changed the rating system and now you get a number. Oh, interesting. Cake. I know Kim loves her cake too. She didn't want to hurt the other color's feelings. Yeah, and it's not that I don't want to hurt the other color's feelings, but I'm a very situational person. So, for example, what's my favorite food? Totally depends on the day. One day I might want sushi. One day I might want pizza. And one day I might want the really good pork chops from a local restaurant that's a couple minutes away from our house. All are stellar and all are like my favorite thing, but it's all situational, you know? Like I can say pizza is for sure one of my favorite foods. One of my favorite foods, hands down, bar none. But can I say with utmost exclusivity that it is my favorite food? I don't know, because what if I'm in the mood for Asian flavors and want to go sushi? You know? You know? What if I did it would be death by chocolate. There you go. There you go. My favorite cake also depends on where it's from. It might be like my friend's salted caramel cupcakes, but I won't get the flavor from anyone else for sure. Chocolate is my favorite. Yeah. And I just had y'all. Okay, for my chocolate lovers, specifically my salted caramel lovers, okay? If Target sells this cupcake, then you need to try it. It is from Favorite Day. It is in the Favorite Day bakery section. So I don't know if you have to have a super Target as an option, but it is a Favorite Day cupcake, a single cupcake, gourmet cupcake that is like salted caramel something or other. And it is butter, like chocolate buttercream frosting, delicious moist chocolate cake, and it is filled with salted caramel. It is dreamy delicious. And it is the other cupcake I purchased the other day, and it was so good. I'm trying to get the exact name for you guys so I don't steer you wrong. Where was it? I just ordered it. I have ordered so many things from Target in the last week. It's kind of absurd. Where's the list of things I ordered? There it is. It is the salted caramel filled jumbo cupcake that looks like this. Y'all, if you can get this at a Target, get it. It is amazing. It is amazing. So good. Sheila is here and she loves coconut. Love it so much. The whole making it worth it thing. My friend made cupcakes who made the cupcakes used to make them homemade Snickers. I haven't had a real Snickers in 10 years because they ruined them for me. I love it. Carrot cake and cheesecake with cherry topping. Yes, again, two very different beasts, right? So absolutely have both of them as a favorite. All the cakes, but fave is white cake with buttercream. Yeah, 100%. I noticed when you reach the corner. Oh, my earrings. Is it a jumbo? Yes, it is. Filled jumbo cupcake. She found the link. It is chef's kiss delicious. It is so good that it is a, do I ever need to go to Lund's for a cupcake again if I'm craving salted, like Lund's and Byerly's has it, which is one of our fancier grocery stores, has a whole cupcake display of salted caramel or of gourmet cupcake flavors that can be like, if they're not on sale, they're like $5.99. And granted, this one from Target is $4.99, but still, I have to make a separate trip to go to Lund's because I don't shop at Lund's for anything unless I'm looking for something specific, things of that nature. I was eating this cupcake the other day, and let me tell you, it also took me 3 days to eat that one cupcake. I intuitively ate the cupcake and I took a little slice of it and it was enough. And I was like, "Wow, how far have I come?" Because old Brianna would have consumed 3 of those cupcakes in 3 days if she was allowed to. So it lasted me a while too. But I'm just sitting there eating it. I'm like, this is so good that I don't even feel compelled to be like Lund's cupcakes are better. There's more variety over there, but like this salted caramel cupcake is on point. It's so good. It's so good. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, my friends, keep this. Not that I don't love dessert conversation, but if you have a question of a different topic that you would like to ask me, feel free. Otherwise, we could just go for another 20 minutes on cupcakes alone. Has the marshmallow filled one. I've never had the marshmallow filled one. We almost ordered that one, but my husband's like, no, I think I would rather have the regular vanilla. And I said, okay, fine. Which the vanilla one is great, but be warned, it's literally filled with the same buttercream frosting it's topped with. Just so you know. For me, that was not a problem, but for some others, it might be a problem. Because that's a lot of frosting. Okay, so I'm going to head over to Instagram and see what questions were submitted there. All right. We have, okay. What is your favorite productivity or goal reaching book? And when I saw this, I was like, oh, of course it's All It Takes Is a Goal by Jon Acuff. However, of all time, like I love that one. All It Takes Is a Goal by Jon Acuff is fantastic. However, there are 2 that come to mind as like my all-time favorites. The first one is Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a classic. If you're on goal setting YouTube at all or productivity YouTube at all, you have heard of Atomic Habits. It is a book all about breaking it down into the itty bitty little atomic sized things. Atomic sounds big, but it's actually small, like the size of an atom, atomic. And it has really great advice on goals and habits and how to get how to create the habits and the systems necessary to get things going. And then the other one, whose author, for whatever reason, is completely escaping me, is called The Slight Edge. And it is by Jeff Olson. And it is a book that I'm probably due for a reread of this book. I reread this book every couple of years, and every time I read it, I'm blown away by how good it is. And the concept is the 1% of people that really excel, that are go-getters, goal-getters, overachievers, the people that go out and get the things that they want. They have this one thing that makes them the 1% slight edgier. They just gives them just the slight edge. And it's really good. It's a really good book. And I remember the first time I read it, I'm like, dang, this is good stuff. This is really good stuff. So that was All It Takes Is a Goal by Jon Acuff, Atomic Habits by James Clear, and The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Very, 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 very good books. Let's see. And then I gotta open my other app. I know I had one question in here. Okay. Getting closer to retirement, how do I keep my hands out of the snack foods, even the healthy ones, when I'm not really hungry? Okay, so the obvious answer here is an answer you're not going to like, and it is don't eat them. And people, I said this in a video that I filmed again today. What was the topic? Can't remember at this moment in time. Oh, now I remember. But spoiler alert, it's a video called 6 Signs That It's Time for You to Give Up Your Diet. But you are in control of your actions. I say it time and time again, and I will say it and repeat it ad nauseum because people need to hear it. It's like people don't believe me, but it's true. The food, the snacks don't just jump into your mouth. It's not like you're sitting here and here comes a Kit Kat bar and it just jumps right on down. That's not how it works. You are the one who's in control of your actions. So knowing that you are in control of your actions, what can you do to better equip yourself for the situation so you do not make the choice to give in to temptation? That is the more accurate question. That's the more accurate question. I will not believe anybody when they say I do not have control over something, because you do. You do. I have to remind myself that I also have control over the things. I told this story just today, and it's kind of relevant. It's kind of going beyond, but we're gonna go with it. I went to the Dollar Tree yesterday. I had to go and run a special errand to go pick something up at Walmart. And I was like, let me see if I'm near a Dollar Tree, because I need one thing from the Dollar Tree, and that is my chocolate covered Peeps. They used to sell them at Target every year, and they don't sell them at Target anymore. And they are my favorite thing to get. And we're talking like back in my Points Plus days, they were my favorite thing because they were, I think, 110 calories. They were 3 points on the Points Plus plan. 3 points. And I loved them because it was a very satisfying, sweet treat. And so every year, the devil makes work for idle hands, 110%, Andy, and we'll get to that in just a second. And so I knew, Alyssa told me, actually, she's like, well, I found them at the Dollar Tree. I was like, okay, great. I looked everywhere else. According to the Peeps website, nothing near me has them. Nothing near me. So I bought that thing from Sam's Club that I shared. When did I share that? In a shorts video, I think. I don't think I actually shared it in like long form content. And so I bought it, the whole Peeps thing, because it had 4 of them in there. And I was like, oh, maybe these are the only 4 I get. Was this close to ordering a $60 worth of them. $60. What was that? 40 of them? Because I couldn't be told that they were in store near me, but they were on the Dollar Tree website. Just because I was out in the area, I'm like, I'm going to go to this Dollar Tree that happened to be 2 minutes away. They were there. I bought 20 of them. En route to the car. Remember, let's go all the way back to highs and lows. Your girl is under a lot of stress and a lot of mental load and a lot of physical load. The desire to eat emotionally has been great. Has been great. I haven't been doing it, but it doesn't mean the desire is not there. And I had just come from lunch with my friend, and then I was doing these pickup orders. And as I'm walking in the car with my bag of treasure, I'm like, I'm going to eat one of these in the car. And I'm very excited about it. And I had the intention to do it. And spoiler alert, I did do it. However, I pumped the brakes real fast because the immediate mindset that I had was, I just need to eat the thing to eat the thing. It was an emotional eating. I had a thing I wanted. I wanted to eat it immediately out of stress that I'm feeling for the situation. And instead, I put a stop to it and I was like, Brianna, if you're going to eat this, you have to at least acknowledge that you're eating it. You love these things. So take a second and acknowledge that you're going to love this thing, right? So in my car, I opened it and I set it down and I got myself all ready. I buckle my seatbelt, do all the things. And I sat here and I took it in my hand before I left the parking lot. And I was like, I'm going to eat this chocolate covered Peep because I want it. I acknowledge it is not going to solve my problems. So emotionally eating it is not going to be the answer. It's not going to solve anything for me. Eating 7 of them is not going to solve anything for me. So I'm going to eat the one because I desire to eat it and it's going to taste good. And I took a bite and I felt it, got the taste for it, got the feel for it, acknowledged it was there, acknowledged it was delicious. And then I started driving and I ate the rest of it as I was driving. And the act of that simple mindset shift kept me from losing control and going for 3 more in the bag, which I could have very easily done. And quite frankly, old Brianna would have done. I would have done that. But instead, that mindset shift of acknowledgement is what actually stopped me from doing that very thing. I still ate the thing. And so my question to you, dear follower, is why do you need to not eat the snacks? Because it's a 2-part question. You said, especially when you're not hungry, that is important. And the number one thing, and intuitive eater people will argue with me about it sometimes, but I believe truly that if you really, especially if you have body goals, the number one thing Like, yes, you have to make peace with food. I've got a whole course on that coming out. Spoiler alert. It's going to be very exciting. You have to make peace with food. But first, you have to learn your hunger signals. And there's different processes for different people, but you have to honor your hunger signals. And that doesn't just mean don't eat when you're not hungry, but it also means eat when you are. Eat when you are. And there are nuances to this too, right? Like if I find that I'm hungry at 4:30 p.m. and I know the dinner is at 5:30 p.m., maybe I won't listen to my hunger signals because I'm trying to hold off till dinner. That's fine. But there's also been some times lately that I've been ravenously hungry and I'm like, you know what? I have to honor my hunger now. I actually did that just today. I had to make my husband one dinner and I was going to make myself a completely different dinner. And I was so hungry at 5 o'clock. And even though I hadn't started cooking yet, that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to eat something that's already prepared because I need to eat right now. And that was honoring my hunger. And so I didn't eat the meal that I had originally planned on cooking. So I'm going to cook it tomorrow and eat it tomorrow and it'll be fine. But that was more of an emergency situation. Whereas if it's, oh, I'm kind of getting hungry, I could snack and dinner's in an hour, I'll put it off. But like that's a topic for a different day. My point is when you, snacking friend, are not hungry, find something else to do. And that brings me to Andy's comment, which is the devil makes work for idle hands. What you need to do if you are looking to rid yourself of snacking temptations, first, you need to find something else to do, especially if you're not hungry. If you're hungry, go eat a snack. It's not going to be the end of the world, truly. But if you're not hungry and you're just worried that your environment isn't set up in a way that prevents you from snacking, that doesn't allow you to forego the temptation, first thing you got to do, get a hobby. I recently acquired some new gem paintings. I have the wrapping here. It's by a company called Paint Gems, and this is not sponsored. I have the retro edition right here. But what they are is little ones. Oh, that's upside down. Little ones, you guys, little diamond paintings. And so this took me, I don't know, maybe an hour to do, like 2 episodes of Friends, and I completed a project. I bought 3 boxes of these. So I've got like 40 of them, 35, 40 of them that I can sit and I can do. And guess what you don't do when you're meticulously doing diamond paintings? You're not snacking. You're not doing anything else with your hands because your hands are busy doing the little gem painting thing. Same with things like crocheting, coloring, all of these things. Getting a hobby, especially one that prevents you from having idle hands, will help keep you busy. Will help keep you busy and keep you away from snacking. The other thing you need to do, my friend, and this is not a dieting habit. This is something that people are like, oh, but then you're in dieting mode. No, set your environment up for success, please. If you're somebody who is easily tempted by the snacks that are sitting out on the counter, put them in a container and put them behind a closed door. You can still have them, but it eliminates the temptation of when I walk by it, I have to have it. This is a struggle that my husband has. He goes, you can't leave it out because I'm going to want to eat it. Can we not buy it? And I'm like, well, what if I just put it in a cabinet? And wouldn't you know it, if I just kind of move something and put it out of sight, for him, out of sight is out of mind. And he has to go actively seeking it and often forgets that whatever it is there if I hide it. And hide it, to be clear, hide it in plain sight. He could walk right up to the cabinet I put it in and open the cabinet and see it, but he doesn't even, it's not even on his radar anymore because it's behind a closed door. So, my snacking friend, set your environment up for success. If you're somebody who needs to walk by and it's tempting to you, put it somewhere where it will be less tempting, right? Or if you're somebody who eats less healthy foods for snacks and you would like to switch to healthier foods, make the healthier foods more accessible. Put the fruit on the counter and put the cookies behind the closed door. And this is something I learned in my Weight Watchers way of living, right? My Weight Watchers leading days. But it's curate your environment for success. Curate your environment for success. It still stands, whether you're dieting or not. It still stands. Curate your environment for success. Rosie says, out of sight is not out of mind for me. I actually thought about you today because you're not alone in that. In my 6 reasons that you should, the 6 signs it might be time for you to stop dieting video. One of the points made me think of you specifically. Because I know that this is the situation. Out of sight is not out of mind. What do you do when you always want to be thinking about food? Or you don't want to be thinking, but you are thinking about food? And what do you do to combat that? Every time I'm here, I get a long phone call. Steak and kidney pie or pasties? Pasties? Pasties. I got a mini coloring book for Christmas and ended up ordering more. Each picture can take only a couple minutes. Exactly. That small version of a diamond pen. Amazon. No, Paint Gems. It's literally called like paintgems.com. Where is it? Let me find it for you. It's so cute. And I got I don't know if it's still here. Here's the website. I don't know if the sale is still happening or if the code still works, but the reason I ordered is because they had a coupon or a Facebook ad or something that said get a free mystery kit. Get a free mystery kit. And so and all you do is you add the mystery bundle to your cart and then it becomes free. I don't know if it's still happening, but so I ordered the retro versions, I ordered the flowers, and then I threw a mystery kit in there and got a mystery one free. How is it a mystery? Well, great question. I'd like to tell you. Normally, and I'd go get them, but they're all the way over there. When you take out the thing, it's got the diagram and everything on it. You can see what colors it's also supposed to be. So it has a symbol, but it also has a color. It's kind of like paint by number. For those of you that don't know what diamond painting is, it's paint by number with these little plastic rhinestone things. The mystery ones, you can still kind of make out what the image is because just by the nature of symbols, but it eliminates the color. So you have a package of one from this theme and one from this theme, and you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting. And you open it up and it's colorless. So you have to actually construct the thing to see what the picture is, which I think is very cool. Do you still crochet? I'm currently not crocheting, but y'all, when I tell you this is worth a screen share, because if you know, you know. I need to start crocheting simply because I want to justify this one purchase. And hang on, I need to figure out what I'm doing here. Present, share screen. How do I do that? Here we go. Okay. So this is the woobles. I have two woobles, 3 woobles. I've only completed, and I haven't actually fully completed 1 wooble, but I keep getting targeted ads for this. Y'all, can we have a moment for the Harry Potter? I mean, there's so many cute collabs. Like, look at the Pac-Man. But I'm sorry, let's just look at the whole Harry Potter character kit here. They just released the house ones. I'm sorry, you can get Harry and Hedwig. You can get Voldemort and Nagini. You can get Dumbledore and Fox, and you can get Dobby and a sock. And now you can get the sorting hat and the house animals and everything. When I tell you, my friends, when I tell you that I'm sitting here going, I need to finish my woobles so I can justify either asking for, I would love to get those as a gift. But I didn't know they existed by Christmas. I didn't know they existed. I was like, are you kidding me? This would have been perfect. Or buying them for myself. But I have to, my husband won't go for it if I don't finish the ones that I have. So I need to pick it back up solely because I would like to learn how to crochet the Harry Potter characters. They're amazing. Out of sight, out of mind. When it's gone, it's gone. I mean, that's true too. Yes. My favorite Dollar Tree coloring book is similar. It's color by number, but you don't know what you, I forgot to look for that while I was there. The crochet Voldy. I know they're all so cute. I really want the crochet Dumbledore. I mean, how do you decide? They're all so cute. I can't handle it. I can't handle how stinking cute they are. I just can't. I get that ad too. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I'm being responsible and not buying this nice spring brown chunky yarn to make me a super chunky blanket. Nice, nice. It's funny that you said with the blanket because I recently had to get new luggage and I picked the color because it was in my color season. I got navy luggage with a cool brown detailing on it. Not because it's not it's I mean it's pretty. It was the prettiest color option they had available for what we were buying. I really wanted like, a bright purple or a pink or something. But I saw it and I was like, "Man, this just fits my whole summer color scheme thing." With I'm even buying accessories in my summer color season, which I think is hysterical. I'm telling you, get your colors done. It'll change your life, my friends. All right, it is 8 o'clock. Wow. We managed to spend an hour on things like desserts, which I guess shouldn't surprise me at all. But alas, here we are. Thank you all for joining me this week. It always makes me feel a little bit better or a lot of bit better, actually, to sit and talk with you guys. So I appreciate each and every one of you so very, very much. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye, guys.